So, good day. So, we have our new topic. We have the shear in beams. Ganito na lang yung itsura natin na. Yung orientation natin. Kasi, hindi ko i-share siya. Medyo may problem lang sa pen natin. Pero okay naman yan. So, we have the shear in beams. So, let's say, when the beam is loaded, kunyari, meron tayong simply supported beam. Ganyan. It resists primarily by means of internal moments and shears. So, kung mayroong mga loads dito, ay, dismiss. Kung mayroong mga loads dito, of course, meron tayo ditong ma-create na moment. So, internal moments, mga moment, ganyan. Tapos, yung load na yan mag-create ng bending na kailangan i-resist ng moment para hindi siya mag-bend. So, of course, hindi lang limited yung ating section sa loads na moment. Meron din tayo ditong shear na forces, no? So, kunyari, ito, i-isolate natin. Itong part na to, ikakakat tayo dito. Isolate natin dito. So, lalabas dyan yung mga forces. We have moments, and then we have the shear. Tapos, meron tayong reaction dito. Tapos, meron tayong load. So, ganito mangyayari. So, the beam must be designed for both types of forces to carry the load safely. So, yung kino-consider nating una is yung shear, ay yung flexure, no? So, the reinforcement or the main reinforcement is a must to design, no? So, next na lang dyan is yung additional reinforcement or the shear reinforcement. So, yung shear failure natin may occur if wala tayong reinforcement or yung stirrups. Ano ba yung stirrups natin? So, kung meron tayong beam, meron tayong main reinforcement dito or main bars. Yung stirrups natin yan yung bakal na naka-yakap sa main bars. Ito na yung tatawagin nating shear reinforcement. Okay. So, para di tayo mag-fail sa shear, so kailangan nating i-design yung shear reinforcement. So, paano naman nakakatulong itong shear reinforcement na to sa pag-resist ng shear loads? So, check natin dito. Tingin. So, meron tayong dismiss muna natin ito. So, meron tayong load na VU acting downward or V na shear load. So, walang ibang mag-resist ng loads kundi yung mismong concrete, no? Tapos, yung shear reinforcement. Bakit ko nasabing shear reinforcement? Kasi, tingin dito. So, we have yung shear natin is parang downward lang siya nag-act, no? So, meaning, kailangan may mag-resist na upward force. So, itong bakal na to, ito. So, kapag hindi lang natin nakikita, pero may force yan na nag-resist dito. So, meron tayong dalawang force. So, para mapigilan niya yung pagpunit nito, no? Para hindi maghiwa-hiwalay yung mga bakal na to. Kaya, malaking tulong yung shear reinforcement natin. So, it is important to make certain that the design for shear must ensure that the failure does not occur before flexural failure. So, dapat hindi mauna yung failure ng shear sa failure ng flexure. So, yan, i-discuss natin with the help of NSCP 2015. So, next. Shear failures occur suddenly with little or no advance warning. Produce ductile members that provide warning on pending failure. The code provides the shear NSCP there are safety factors against shear failures. So, as you can see, meron tayong mga shear cracks dito na based from the laboratory, no? Sabi 45 degrees daw yung cracks na to no? Meron tayong weave shear cracks, flexural cracks. Next, inelastic homogeneous beams where stresses are proportional to strains. Two kinds of stresses occur. We have the bending and the shear. So from your mechanics, we have the formula of bending na FB is equal to MC over I, or bending stress. But then we also have the shear stress na VQ over IB. So an element of a beam not located at an extreme fiber or at the neutral axis is subject to both bending and shear stresses. So ito yung example ng flexure shear crack natin. So ito naman, example naman natin sa baba is the beam with diagonal crack and vertical stirrups. So yan. May ano ata. Sabi na. Hindi kasi siya ma-play. Ako na lang mag-play mamaya. So, as you can see, sa figure ito, sabi pala dito sa NSCP natin, we have the factored shear. For beams built integrally with support VU, at the support shall be permitted to be calculated at the face of the support. So, ito yung let's say na meron tayong beam, na meron tayong support na columns. So of course yung columns natin merong face. So pwede nating masabi na meron ditong shear force at face. So wherein, ang sabi, yung critical section natin is located at D from the face of the support. At itong D na to, di ba yan yung effective depth? Kung gusto nyo makuha yung critical shear force natin, kailangan lang natin kumuha ng distance ng D from the face. Tapos, kaya natin mas compute na yung VU crit niya. Okay. So, ito yung ganito yung itsura ng shear diagram natin. So, meron tayong upward force dito sa may face since meron tayong reaction dito, no? Tapos, 0 sa may gitnang part since wala na dyan load, no? So yung moment diagram niya is pag ganito lang. So the section between the face, ito na yung sinabi ko sa inyong distance D. So lipat natin to dito. Wherein, ito na yung main equation natin. We have the VVN is greater than or equal to VU. So yung actual natin must be less than daw po sa capacity or theoretical capacity natin. Kasi yung capacity, kung lalagpas tayo sa capacity natin, mag-field na yan, no? Tama. So kunyari, yung kaya mo lang palang buhatin is 10 kilograms. So ang hina mo naman, no? Kaya mong buhatin is 10 kilograms. Yan yung actual mo. Ayun yung capacity mo pala. Tapos pinabuhat sa'yo is 11. So, mag-fail ka na. Ganon yung analysis. Okay? Ito na rin yun. Excuse me. From NSCP, we have the basic code requirements. VU shall be equal or less than the design shear or the capacity. VVN. No? Ito yung actual. Ito yung capacity. Ganito lang yun, lahat, no? Pati yung MU natin must be less than or equal to VMN. So lahat. Wherein yung VN natin is equivalent to VC plus the VS. Wherein yung VC natin is the shear carried by the concrete or the shear force carried by concrete. So it is kilonewton. And also VS natin is the shear carried by the stirrups. It is also in kilonewton. So bakit itong dalawa? Kasi nga, 'di ba, kapag may beam tayo, ang magbubuhat lang ng shear natin is yung stirrups and then yung concrete mismo. Kaya pag pinagsama silang dalawa, ito na yung capacity niya. wherein yung Vn is the nominal shear. Tapos yung phi natin is constant. We have phi in shear is 0.75. So we have here codes excerpt from the NSCP 2015. So same lang ito. Ito nakalagay nung kanina. So we have cross-sectional dimension shall be selected to satisfy the equation. So ito, kung makikita nyo, VC lang din siya. Tapos ito yung VS. No? VC plus VS. 0.67. Or kapag minsan, 0.67 is equal to 2/3 also. Sa ibang book, 2/3 yung ginagamit. Sa NSCP, 0.67. So, kahit ano dun. So, next, we have the VC for non-pre-stress members without axial force MU. So, yung axial force natin is kung meron kayong beam, dito naman siya nag-act mismo. Axial, parang normal. So, yung VC natin, shear strength provided by the concrete, we have 0.17 lambda FC prime BWD. For simplified naman to. Kasi meron tayong next equation na detailed method for calculating VC. Sa kung may mga given kayo na VU and MU, ito yung gagamitin natin. Okay. So, check nyo na lang. Wherein, yung lambda natin, ito, is equal to 0.85 for sand lightweight concrete, 0.75 for all lightweight concrete, and then 1 for the normal weight. So, most typical na ginagamit natin sa lambda is just 1. So, medyo nalimutan lang to, pero ito 1 lang kapag normal weight. Also, we have here the BW. Ito. Kahit BW siya kasi naka-general yung equation natin. So, pwede natin sabihin na pwede natin gawin na itong B natin sa rectangular, di ba? B lang siya. Ay, nangyari. B lang siya. Pero kapag minsan kasi may mga instances na yung given natin is in T-beams. Kaya bini-BW siya. So, equivalent lang naman yung BW tsaka B. So, and then we have the rho W, or kasi yung rho W natin is yung rho natin is AS over BD. So, kaya nga naka-general W, so paglalagay tayo ng W dito. VU, factored shear force at critical distance. MU, factored moment at a critical section VU. Ito, MU. So, next, with axial naman tayo. So, pag with axial, magdadagdag lang tayo ng NU, no? Axial compressive force. Ito na yung gagamitin yung formula. So, mostly, hindi naman siya nakikita since sa beam natin is hindi naman parati may axial. No? So, dito, NU is positive daw po for compression. Positive for compression. So, kapag given is tension, kunyari, tension ay 10 kilonewton in tension. So, ilalagay nyo dito is negative 10. Okay. So, we also have the AG, wherein yung AG natin is the gross sectional area. Ay, cross-sectional in gross area pala. So, kung meron kayong width, hindi nyo i-multiply siya sa effective depth, no? So, dapat sa H para maging AG siya. Tapos, for detailed naman, ito yung simplified. Tapos, ito naman yung detailed. So, same lang naman yung gagawin nyo. Medyo mahaba lang ito, no? So, ayan. So, we also have here VC for non-pre-stressed members with significant axial tension. So, next, we have here the shear strength naman provided by these stirrups. Wherein, meron tayong formula ng VS na must be greater than or equal sa VU minus VC. So, ito galing lang siya sa VU is equal to phi VS plus VC. Okay, so na lang, na simplify. Tapos, meron tayong shear reinforcement. So, you have the VS is equal to AV FYT D over S. Wherein yung AV natin is the area of this shear reinforcement. So, yung area niyan is just the diameter area of these bars. So, ano tong 2 na to? So, yan yung number of legs natin. Kasi, di ba, dalawa yung magkikerry. So, dito, magkano? Dalawa din. Kung dito naman, ilan? 4. So, since meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4. So, meaning, yung number of legs natin, may check natin kung parallel yung load. I mean, yung parallel na number of bars, yan yung pipiliin natin. Kung pag ganito naman yung VU natin, sige. Siyempre, dalawa lang, 1, 2. Pero, normally, ganito yung tsura niyan. So, pag hindi given, I mean, hindi sinabi sa problem, automatic, dalawa yung pipiliin nyo. Okay? So, we also have space limits for shear reinforcement. If required, shear reinforcement shall be provided using stirrups, hoops, or longitudinal bent bars. So, meron tayo dito maximum spacing for shear reinforcement. Ito yung VS natin. Shear strength provided by these stirrups. So, kapag less than, so, hindi pa naman malakas yung shear strength natin. So, diba, sa mga, nakita na kayo ng mga construction site. Naglalatag na sila ng beam. Kunyari, ito yung beam. Sa part na to, masinsin yung pagkakalagay ng mga stirrups. Until sa mga gitna siya, magluluwag siya, no? Bakit kaya? So, as you can see, mas maganda kasi kapag mas malaki, di ba? Nakita nyo kanina yung shear diagram. Saan na yun? Shear diagram, where are you? Dito. Oh, yan. Nakita yung shear diagram natin, sa may part ng face is mas malaki yung loads niya, no? So, kaya kung naandito siya, yung stirrups natin dito is magkakadikit. Parang pag ganyan siya, oh. Hanggang maggitna siya. Nagluluwag siya kasi dito wala naman na ng shear force. So, ang ibig sabihin, kapag mas malaki yung shear, mas maganda if mas masinsin or mas dikit-dikit yung pagkaka-spacing nila. So, kaya dito, kapag less than, yung mas maluluwag yung spacing natin or the maximum S. So, kapag malaki naman or malaki, so, dapat yung spacing natin is liitan natin. So, dapat hindi tayo lalagpas dito. No? Ito yung maximum na. So, kung may mga compute tayong theoretical, yung spacing natin. So, kapag lumampas siya dito, automatic, ito lang yung magpipili na lang tayo dito sa dalawa. Wherein, meron tayong shear reinforcement na ito. Minimum shear reinforcement. Required AV mean for the minimum, ito na yung gagamitin natin, greater of these two sa AV mean. Over S siya, no? So, pag nilipat natin, pwede na ilagay dyan. Yes. Okay. So, meron tayo ditong steps in vertical stirrup design. So, paano natin ma-compute yung S? Parang ganun. Kasi sa mga problem na to, S lang yung mostly na kinocompute natin. So, first, calculate the VU. Shear force VU. To calculate, kunyari, may binigay sa inyong beam. Simply supported. Tapos meron daw W na load dito or W na naka-factored na siya. So, kailangan nyo kasi ma-compute is factored shear force, VU. At critical section. So, di ba sabi ko kanina, yung critical section is from the face of the support, from distance D, yan na yung VU natin. So, meaning, magkakat tayo dito ng beam na may distance na D. Okay. Kunyari, may load ka dito. Tapos, naandito na yung shear force mo, VU. Okay. So, of course, dito, meron tayong reaction. So, kailangan nyo din consider yung reaction dito. To compute for VU, summation forces, vertical lang kayo. Ba't anong nangyari dito? Summation forces, vertical. Huh? Saglit lang ha. Yan. So, we have the reaction minus na upward minus yung VU natin na downward, tapos yung uniform load na W times D equal to 0. So, of course, yung R nyo o yung reaction nyo is makakomplete nyo naman, no? So, with this, given na siya, ito given naman, VU lang yung matitira. So, make sure lang na factored yung given sa inyo. Kapag hindi factored, you may use 1.2 TL plus 1.6 LL for 2015 yan, no? Yan, erase natin. Next step is to calculate the shear strength provided by the concrete. Kapag hindi sinabi, ito na yung gagamitin nyo. Wherein ito yung simplified. Tapos may condition dito, compare nyo lang yung VU nyo sa value ng VVC. Kunyari, meron kayong value ng VU na 50 kN. Tapos yung nasolve nyo is, yung VC nyo na compute dito is nag-abot lang siyang 75. Tapos, multiply nyo pa ng 0.75 kasi naka-fee. So, matitira is 56. So, greater than VU siya. So, proceed kayo dito sa step 3. Kapag nag-less than naman, sa VVC, so, mag-check din kayo muna ng 1/2 VVC. Kapag greater than, yung VU nyo sa 1/2 VVC, proceed kayo sa step 5 na nasa next slide. Kapag less than naman siya, kayang-kaya niya na daw i-carry yung shear natin. So, medyo mababa lang yung shear force kapag mga ganito. So, next, calculate the shear strength Vs provided by the stirrup. Wherein, ito na yung formula natin. So kapag na-compute na tayo ng Vs, kapag hindi given yung Vu natin, kunyari hinahanap natin is Vu, kukuha tayo ng formula ng Vs galing dito. Ito na yung theoretical or capacity natin. 2/3 square root of Fc prime BWD. So, of course, kapag ganito yung hinanap natin S, ito na yung problem, ito na yung mismong step. So, meaning, given itong Vu. So, compare lang natin yung Vs sa 2/3 Fc prime BWD. Kapag less than, proceed to step 4. Kapag greater than naman siya, ito na yung sagot nyo. The beam is inadequate. You need to adjust the size of the beam. So, okay. Next is to calculate the spacing of stirrups. You have your AV, area of reinforcement, FYT na given, and then the D, and then the VS na compute lang. So, of course, you need to check for the maximum spacing S. Wherein, i-check nyo yung value ng VS nyo into 1/3 naman. So, kapag less than, meaning, yung mas maganda ditong analyzation is kapag less than, maliit lang yun, no? Kapag nag-less than siya or mas maliit, luluwagan natin yung spacing natin. So, meaning, gagamitin natin is 600 or D/2. Tama, no? Kapag greater than naman siya, so meaning, mas malaki yung force natin, so, liliitan natin yung distance, yung spacing natin, para makarry niya yung load. So, dito, wherever is small. So, bale, tatlo lang yung pagpipilian nyo. Ito, or alin dito sa dalawa. Kunyari, nag-less than siya, ito lang yung pagpipilian yung tatlo. 600 D/2 and itong mismong spacing. So, kung alin yung mas maliit dyan, yan yung kukunin nyo. Tapos, ito na din yung step 5 na galing dito sa step number 2. Kapag nasatisfy nyo itong condition na to, dito na kayo papasok. So, makakompute kayo ng S galing dito. So, yung AV min nyo dito is yung area ng V nyo na din na nagagamitin. No? Yung area of reinforcement. So, makakompute kayo ng S. Both. So, alin yung mas maliit, compare nyo din. Tapos, since naka-AV min na siya, minimum na lang, maliit na lang yung force dyan. So, of course, yung gagamitin yung maximum spacing is yung malaki, no? So, kunyari, nakakompute na kayo ng S. Of course, kapag spacing, smaller, wherever is smaller, always small na lang, always small yung pipiliin, no? So, yan. Yan na yung steps in vertical stirrup design. Mag-upload tayo ng example nyan for your reference din. Thank you.